You really want me to do this now?
Hey, your channel art says new video every week, so let's get this done.
You can be a real pain in the ass sometimes, you know that? Hi, I'm Tom, and this is Adrift. A game with a premise so cool that it makes you say, how could it have gone so wrong? Sorry to say, but this game is not really that good. And I had hope. It was $8 on sale, and I knew that it was short. But for $8, I had a hunch that it would be at least worth that. But as we know, history repeats itself, and this VR game, well, it is no exception. Let me tell you why that is, and let's dive in. Okay, before tearing this piece of highly rendered garbage a new one, I need to give the devs some credit for the graphics and immersion. The game starts with you waking up in a highly damaged EVGA suit, which is leaking oxygen and has to be refilled with fresh air every minute or so. It adds to the stress of every scenario, seeing that you could die at any time when you are not careful. Additional to this is the fact that when you wake up at the start of the game, the entire space station you were at is blown to pieces, and there is no oxygen anywhere except in your spacesuit and the canisters lying around. With the HTC Vive on my face, I could most certainly feel some of that stress, and it is most certainly a good thing for the immersion. Added to this are the graphics and the physics. Graphics mostly though. Everything looks crisp and clean, and with the earth as the background, it surely gives you the feeling of holy shit, I need to get the fuck out of here fast before I die. And secondly are the physics, like when you go through the botany part of the now blown up space station. Plants and water bubbles are just drifting around, and it is so great to just feel the weightlessness of them. It is that the Vive does not take the gravity of the earth away, otherwise it would be 100% immersive. Because Adrift will do that to you. Sadly, this is all the game has to offer. Let's take a look at the negatives. I feel kind of like a hypocrite, but I also don't. Because in my last VR review, I said games should have more lore to keep players interested in the world and increase playtime because of it. Adrift did add in the lore through audio files that are found throughout the level, but while it does have those, even though they are not that good or interesting, it did drop the ball completely on the gameplay department. You do nothing more than fly from place to place, fetch oxygen tanks and try to enable the escape pods for you to get home. Which sounds very interesting, but it really isn't. I know it is a really cheap way to say that it is like X but Y, but you know the movie Gravity? It is like that, but with less George Clooney and more spacesuit and more chance of dying. On top of this is the lack of quality audio. Now I get and highly respect the choice of making some parts of the game silent, because space is silent and it should be. But when you complete a main objective and continue on with your other task, I expect something more than inappropriate and, to be personally honest, just bad and annoying music. I had to go into the settings and turn it down. I just could not stand it. And on top of all this, there's also the performance. Although the game looks stunning, the performance is quite something else. The game ran okay most of the time, but when shit hit the fan, it hit it hard. 15 FPS with the VR is enough to make any person quit within 30 seconds. And sadly, this was the case with Adrift as well. I don't know why, but the game dropped frames faster than EA dropped DLC for all the games. It was unbearable, which hurts me to say because I love space and I love space games. Adrift is a game you should not pick up. It hurts me to say those words because I love VR and I love space, but with this type of gameplay, story and frame rate, I cannot recommend this game to any one of you. Not to mention the fact that when you play it without VR it is even worse. I got this game on sale for $8 and it made me skeptical at first, because $8 is not even that much. But we have to stay critical. Just because it has VR support does not mean that making a lesser game should just be accepted. I'm still waiting for the Citizen Kane of VR, and when that day comes I'll be there to review it. Until then, I can tell you that Adrift is not worth the money.